Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we are gonna talk to you about a superpower, one of our best remedies for success. So please grab a coffee, lean back and stay tuned and get ready for unlocking the power of consistency. So let's get started. How about starting off by our experience in the mountains? Would you like to share it with our viewer?
Okay. Shall we go back in time a couple of months?
It was almost 2 years ago when you approached me and said, "Hey, Rahim, accompany me for a hike. That would be wonderful. You can come back to a sport." And I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And I remember every other week I somehow brought up a reason that I postponed it. And one day you would come to me and said, "Let's look at these photos." You showed me some great photos that you took in your previous hikes, some amazing landscapes, happy faces with your friends, and then it for me was like, let's give it a try. Just do it. Let's get it started. And I think the first, if I'm not wrong, the first hike you said we will do it a little easy. It was like a 300 meter, right? The first hike.
So yeah, I now remember we started really easy.
Yeah. That.
Just and also it was a very beautiful landscape close to Spitzingsee in Bavaria.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was.
And the hike was just 308 meters different, so 300 meters height difference. Just to get you hungry.
Yeah.
So,
For me, it was like a practicing riding with training wheels before really going on a big adventure. So that was absolutely exciting. I was feeling whenever I took each step, I felt like, oh, something I'm achieving. And I remember you said, think about the apex, the top of the mountain, and that give you more energy and courage. And it got interesting. I remember we also did something called intermittent fasting. So we only ate whenever we came down the mountain. And do you remember we put we dip our feet into the icy cold river
yes.
water?
This was like a reward after the hike. So, of course, I think it was not in the first hike because it was more like walking in the park. But then it got harder and harder with each hike, and also the hikes went much longer
Yeah.
from the time. And then, of course, it was nice to have this reward after the end of a full day of hiking.
I remember you said that once we went for that yummy lunch. It was late lunch, around 5 or 6, 4, 6 in the 4, 5 in the evening. You said now you earn it,
Yes.
and it was extremely yummy and tasty. And now I reflect and look at the past and those experiences. So I really see myself as, at least in that perspective, like a consistency champion, and I build up on that. And it's not about doing one thing at one time. So it's like gradually. And when I reflect on that, I feel that basically consistency is like a backpack that has some component in it. And for me, those components are basically trust and commitment, trust and accountability. How would you see this? Is it something like this for you? Because we were like, I relied on you. Sometimes I felt like lazy or were not really in the mood, depending on the weather. But afterward, no matter the weather, we really went on, right, with our hiking. How do you see that?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to have some accountability buddy who is kicking you in the butt if you think you cannot make it, and also
Yeah.
giving you this nice experience to show you yes you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially if you have a good friend and like Rahim, and you know he
Thank you.
can do this, and and he just needs a small kick in the right direction.
Yeah. That
Oh,
was
by the way, of course, this also happens in the other direction, that you were accountability buddy for me several times. But it's really nice if you have somebody who's helping you getting out of your comfort zone and keeping going, making progress.
that was the essence of the whole activity. And now we started with this like funny and also inspiring story about ourselves, but you can relate this to many practical scenarios in everyday life, right? Could you please maybe talk about some of those aspects, for example, for people who wants to be successful in education, in their jobs, or they fight some diseases or whatever scenarios? I think yeah, could you elaborate a little on this maybe?
Um, yeah, essentially it affects every aspect of your life. No matter how hard you can hit, the only thing that matters is how hard you can take,
Absorb it. Yeah.
and keep pushing forward.
Yeah,
Keep pushing forward. That's really important. Yeah, so you see life sometimes kicks you into the face, and then you still need to have the inner force, this drive, this hunger to get up and just keep doing it again and again, and
Absolutely.
not giving
Yeah.
up. And this is, I think, the core of consistency, that even if you have your doubts, you have to overcome those doubts and you keep pushing forward.
It's really beautiful and essential. I remember also another saying that says, you are not defined by how many times you fail, but by how many times you fail and then get up and continue. So please, just as a remedy from us, I think we would say that please just give it a try and wait for magic. Don't get disappointed, don't give up, and be consistent and make the momentum and try to keep it.
Yeah, exactly. So don't give up by having, whenever you have a setback. It's just a setback, and it's so normal. It's for everybody. Every person that is successful has failed thousands of times before, never gave up until they reached a certain level. Yeah, and you can see this from their citations from many famous people. Yeah,
And this
yeah.
that was their secret.
Yeah.
You know that nowadays a lot of negativity are around. Some people say, why do you do that? And you go nowhere, and you should basically resist, rely on yourself. Trust and accountability is the components that are in that backpack along your journey. So consider them, work on them, and push for the success. Right?
Yeah. So it's just part of the journey to fail.
Yeah.
I think there's also this famous quote from Edison, who has been asked about his light bulb, and he said, "Yeah, I didn't fail. I just found 9,000 ways how a light bulb doesn't work, and then I
Wow.
found the one way how it did work,
So
actually."
inspiring. Yeah. Cool.
And you can have similar utterances from essentially everyone who's or observations from essentially everyone who's has become famous. Yeah.
Great. So keep it going. And yeah, so there is another saying I would like to mention it before we finish this episode. We say that when the things get tough, the tough gets going. So be tough and look at your aim and vision and do the things that is necessary to reach your purpose.
Totally agree with that.
Perfect. Then till next episode.
See you.
Bye bye. See
Bye
you.
bye.